Welcome to About Mansfield. It's your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, broadcasting from the Cinemark Studios, along with the About Mansfield news team. Colleen Daniel, she's on vacation. Filling in is the highly digitized Elisa Jones. This is the August 6th, 2025, 283rd edition. Coming up, it's Mansfield News, Talk, and Information.
And a little later in the episode, you will have a chance to win a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice with our Mansfield Trivia Question, courtesy of Joe Jenkins Insurance.
Let's take a look at the stories we're covering this week.
Mansfield ISD opens elementary schools to out-of-district students.
Tax-free weekend means dollars back in your pocket for school supplies.
Texas ranks second to last in worst U.S. states for bike commuters.
And in sports, North Texas SC falls short to Colorado.
And in the talk segment, Steve concludes his talk about Mansfield Parks with parks officials Matt Young and Scot Bowman. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool Hand, Cool Hand, Cool Hand, where excellence is still cool.
This summer, be the super parent of the season with the Hawaiian Falls Staycation Splash Pass. For just $49.99, get unlimited visits to your home park all summer long. Skip the hassle of travel. It's time for heart-racing slides, relaxing lazy rivers, wave pool adventures, and unforgettable memories right in your own backyard. All of the fun, none of the fuss. Make this the summer they'll never forget with the Staycation Splash Pass from Hawaiian Falls. Get yours now at hfalls.com. That's hfalls.com.
Looking for a night out that's anything but ordinary? Step into Vault Seafood and Steakhouse, Mansfield's premier upscale dining experience. Savor perfectly aged steaks, fresh seafood, and handcrafted cocktails, all served in a stunning atmosphere. Want more? Enjoy private dining rooms and a cigar lounge for that extra touch of luxury. Vault delivers exceptional flavor in a one-of-a-kind atmosphere. Located at Matlock and Country Club, Vault Seafood and Steakhouse. Unforgettable nights. Unmatched taste.
Howdy, y'all. This is Rhett Miller from the Old 97s, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Vault Seafood and Steakhouse.
For the first time, Mansfield ISD will welcome students from outside district boundaries, starting with the 2025-2026 school year. The district's new program, called Destination Mansfield, allows out-of-district families to apply for enrollment at 11 elementary campuses. Each of the selected schools was built to serve 800 students, but has been operating below 500. Speaking on WFAA News, MISD Superintendent Dr. Kimberly Cantu says the district has the space and wants to give more families access to what she describes as quality instruction and support services.
They're all built for 800, but they were operating below 500, right? So we knew we had the capacity and the space in 11 different campuses, and we know what a wonderful opportunity we provide to students who are in Mansfield ISD, and we wanted to open that up.
So far, about 100 applications have been submitted. Cantu says around half of the applicants could be accepted based on eligibility. To qualify, students must meet attendance standards, including a 96% or higher attendance rate and minimal unexcused absences or tardies. For those interested in applying or to see the list of 11 schools, you can visit the Mansfield ISD website for more information. Enter Destination Mansfield in the search bar.
Get ready to save, Mansfield, because Texas's annual tax-free weekend is here. It's Friday, August 8th through midnight, Sunday, August 10th. During the 3-day back-to-school holiday, most clothing, footwear, school supplies, and backpacks priced under $100 each are exempt from Texas state and local sales tax. That means Texas families will save roughly 6.25% plus up to another 2% in local tax, a total of $133 million in savings statewide this year, according to the Texas Comptroller's Office. You can shop in-store, online, by phone, or via layaway as long as payment is made during the holiday window, even if delivery happens later. But you got to be cautious because shipping, handling, and delivery fees count toward the $100 item limit. So if they push the total above $100, sales tax applies. So mark your calendars, August 8th through 10th. Get ready to stock up on back-to-school necessities, tax-free.
A new national study ranks Texas as one of the least bike-friendly states in the country for commuters. The report from bicycle insurance company Velosurance looked at factors like bike lane availability, traffic safety laws, and federal funding for cycling infrastructure. States were scored on a 100-point scale based on ridership, safety laws, infrastructure, and funding. Texas landed second to last, behind South Carolina, with a score of just 17 out of 100. Despite having more than 14 million commuters, only about 26,000 ride bikes to work. The Lone Star State received especially low marks for infrastructure, scoring just 1 out of 30, and ranks near the bottom for federal funding at just over $2 per person. On a slightly better note, Texas scored 8 out of 15 for its road laws and safety protections for cyclists. The full report is available at velosurance.com.
North Texas SC falls short to Colorado. We'll talk about it because sports is next.
This summer, be the super parent of the season with the Hawaiian Fall Staycation Splash Pass. For just $49.99, get unlimited visits to your home park all summer long. Skip the hassle of travel. It's time for heart-racing slides, relaxing lazy rivers, wave pool adventures, and unforgettable memories right in your own backyard. All of the fun, none of the fuss. Make this the summer they'll never forget with the Staycation Splash Pass from Hawaiian Falls. Get yours now at hfalls.com. That's hfalls.com.
Hungry for bold flavor and a good time? Head on over to El Primo's to enjoy sizzling fajitas and their signature blue margarita. Enjoy weekend live entertainment and let the kids run wild with an outdoor play area and arcade. Planning a party? Multiple private rooms are available, including the all-new Parrot's Nest to make your event a success. Food, fun, and flavor for the whole family at El Primo's. Visit elprimos.net and bring your appetite. Located at Matlock and Country Club. El Primo's, where the locals go.
In sports, North Texas SC fell 4-1 to Colorado Rapids 2 Saturday night at Choctaw Stadium, bringing their season record to 8-3, placing them in 6th place in the 14-team league standings. Team captain Sam Sarver scored the club's only goal in the 50th minute, his 15th goal of the season, extending his lead in the MLS Next Pro Golden Boot race. FC Dallas homegrown defenders Nolan Norris and Josh Torquato appeared in the match, with Torquato assisting on Sarver's goal. Norris has made 9 appearances this season with FC Dallas, while Torquato has logged 4 and now 4 assists with North Texas SC. Head coach John Gall.
We kind of knew that Colorado was going to be a team that was going to cause us trouble on set pieces and direct play. The 600 passes for us completed to 240 for them tells a pretty clear picture for me that we were our own worst enemy. So,
team captain Sam Sarver.
I don't necessarily think the scoreline reflected a lot of it. If you look at some of the stats, it was a pretty even game. They just happened to be a lot more efficient, but, that's part of football.
North Texas SC returns to action Friday, August 8th, facing Austin FC2 at Palmer Field. Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m., streaming on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. And, of course, next year, you can see North Texas SC play in their new home stadium in Mansfield, starting in March 2026. Elsewhere, the Texas Longhorns have suffered a major setback on their offensive line as Mansfield native Andre Kojo is reportedly out for the season with a knee injury. The former Timberview standout was in the middle of a heated preseason battle for the starting right tackle job. Now with Kojo sidelined, sophomore Brandon Baker steps into the starting role, and the Longhorns' already thin offensive line depth takes another hit. Texas is replacing 4 of 5 starters up front, and the position coach Kyle Flood, who also serves as the offensive coordinator, will now look to build depth quickly. Kojo was a redshirt sophomore who came to Texas in 2023 as a 16-year-old recruit and had drawn praise recently for reshaping his 6'6", 335-pound frame. He played limited snaps over the last 2 seasons, but was expected to be a big role this fall. For fans in Mansfield, it's a tough blow as one of our own sees his season cut short just as he was poised to break out on one of college football's biggest stages. And that, my friends, is a look at sports. This coming Sunday, August 10th, is National Spoil Your Dog Day. It's that one day a year where giving belly rubs, extra treats, and maybe even letting your pup on the couch is not only allowed, it's encouraged. Whether your best friend is a frisbee fetching machine or a snuggly sofa companion, Sunday is the perfect excuse to shower them with love. Break out the pup cups, take an extra long walk, surprise them with a squeaky toy that'll drive you just a little batshit crazy. Because let's face it, you got that unconditional love thing hanging over your head. So Sunday, go ahead. Give him an extra doggy bone. My apology for the expletive.
Coming up after the break, we turn the page to the features section.
We'll take a look at the cultural arts calendar for the month of August.
I'm Angel Biasatti, and today we're diving into a sizzling topic that's been making waves on dinner plates across America. And we'll talk about it on Methodist Mansfield News to Know.
In this week's Cocktail of the Week, we're celebrating peak summer with a vibrant, refreshing crusher that captures sunshine in a glass.
We'll talk with a restaurant executive in 40 Under 40.
We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. I'm Alyssa Jones, filling in for the vacationing Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
This portion of the news was brought to you by El Primo's, where the locals go.
Hey there, it's Luke from Cool Hand Electric. Are you tired of dealing with plugs or lights that just won't cooperate? Well, don't fret. Give us a call. Worried about power outages or surges damaging your precious electronics? We've got you covered. Whether it's a whole house generator or surge protection, our solution-oriented Cool Hands are ready to tailor the perfect option that suits your needs and budget. At Cool Hand Electric, excellence is still cool.
Cool hand, cool hand, cool hand, where excellence is still cool.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Congratulations to Leslie Sutherland, who knew that it was Milton Farr who received the electrifying 50-year contract from the City Council in 1917 to establish the city's first electric plant. When we come back, this week's trivia question. I'm Alyssa Jones, filling in for Colleen Daniel, and this is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years' experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
It is time right now for the highly coveted, wildly popular About Mansfield Trivia Question. The first person to email the correct answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com will receive a $25 gift card to a Mansfield restaurant of your choice. It's brought to you by Joe Jenkins Insurance. Whether you're looking for homeowners, auto, commercial, or any other type of insurance, Joe has helped Mansfield area residents understand the insurance coverage that best fit their needs since 2010. You can find him on the internet at joejenkinsinsurance.com. Alyssa, Batter up.
Well, Steve, the crews at Kemper Sports have been working feverishly to finish the renovation of the Mansfield Sports Park, formerly known as Big League Dreams. Mansfield Sports Park was just a temporary name until a new name was decided on last month. Today's question is, what is the current name of the ball field facilities formerly known as Big League Dreams? Email your answer to trivia@aboutmansfield.com. Again, what is the current name of the ball field facilities formerly known as Big League Dreams? Good luck, and thanks to Joe Jenkins Insurance for the gift card.
I'm Mansfield Police Chief Tracy Aaron, and you are listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. Let's open up the features section.
It is the first episode of the month, and that means it's time for the cultural arts calendar. Tourism manager Tim Roberts is taking some personal time off, and he has left me with the following list. New Horizons is the next art exhibit at the Wallace Hall Art House, and it opens August 10th at 210 South Main Street. Open Mic Night is at the Farbest Theater Thursday, August 14th, starting at 7:30 p.m. Got a song or a poem, comedy routine, perhaps a soliloquy that you would like to try out? Open Mic Night is the place. Later in the month, the Fleetwood Project presents The Broadway We Love. It's August 29th through the 30th, also at 7:30 p.m., also at the Farbest Theater. Admission is free, but donations will gladly be accepted. And a reminder that the Mansfield Farm and Cottage Market, affectionately known as the Farmers Market, takes place every Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon at 703 East Broad Street in the Mansfield Mission Center Thrift Store parking lot. By the way, this week is National Farmers Market Week, so go out and see them on Saturday.
Angel Biasatti is here with tips on a sizzling topic, fake meat versus real meat, in Methodist Mansfield News to Know. Angel?
Is fake meat better for you than the real thing? Joining me is the ever-insightful, board-certified physician and wellness expert, Dr. Tina Joseph, always keeping it real, even when the meat might not be.
Hey, Angel. So happy to be here. This is such a great conversation because plant-based eating is on the rise, but so are questions about these meat alternatives.
Exactly. We've all heard the advice, eat more plants, avoid ultra-processed foods. But what happens when a food checks both boxes and neither? I'm talking about those sizzling plant-based burgers, sausage, nuggets, and meatballs. So, Dr. Joseph, help us out. These products are made from plants like soy, peas, wheat, or mycoprotein, but they're also pretty processed.
Yeah, you're spot on. They're based on plants, yes. But in terms of processing, they're a long way from peas and lentils. You know, these products are often engineered to mimic the taste and texture of real meat, which means they include a mix of protein isolates, oils, binders, additives, etc. So nutritionally speaking, they're not the same as eating whole foods, and they're not all created equal.
And that brings us to the big question. How do these fake meats actually compare to the real thing when it comes to nutrition?
Great question. So 2 major reviews from 2024 gave us some insight. Most plant-based meat alternatives tend to be lower in saturated fat compared to red meats like ground beef or pork sausages. For example, a 4-ounce beef burger has about 6.5 grams of saturated fat. An Impossible Burger has just under 6 grams. A Beyond Burger is even lower, around 2 grams. And on the other hand, a Gardein Ultimate Plant-Based Burger has more, about 9 grams.
So even in the plant-based category, there's a wide spectrum of grams of fat or saturated fat in these burgers.
Yeah, exactly. So, and when it comes to protein, plant-based burgers stack up pretty well. Most have between 19 and 21 grams, which is similar to a beef patty. But where they shine is fiber. So real meat has 0 fiber. A Beyond Burger has 2 grams. Impossible has around 5. So that's a win for digestion and disease prevention.
But on the flip side, and you know there'd be one, is the sodium contained in these burgers, right?
Yes. So most plant-based meats are significantly higher in sodium than unprocessed meat. Some patties pack over 300 to 400 milligrams compared to virtually none in a plain chicken breast or ground beef. But brands are improving. For instance, Beyond Meat recently reformulated its burgers to use avocado oil instead of coconut oil and cut back on sodium, but it's still something to watch out for.
Okay, so what does the science say about how these products affect our health long term?
So that's where things get interesting. And honestly, it's still a little fuzzy. A couple of studies, including a 2024 one from Singapore and a 2020 Stanford study funded by Beyond Meat, had different findings. The Singapore study found no significant health differences between people eating real meat and those eating plant-based alternatives over 2 months. But the Stanford study showed participants actually had lower cholesterol and they lost a little bit of weight when eating Beyond Meat instead of real meat.
Well, that sounds promising. Even if the research is still new, what about concerns around processing? A lot of these products fall under the ultra-processed umbrella.
Right, and that's where we need more clarity, honestly. Not all ultra-processed foods are equally harmful. Researchers have pointed out that while we should avoid sugary drinks and heavily processed meats, these meats may not be as concerning. Still, they're not health foods by default, and moderation is key.
So let's talk real. If someone wants to eat less meat, but still craves the taste and the texture, are these fake meats a decent middle ground?
Absolutely. Think of them as a stepping stone toward a more plant-based diet. But if you really want to boost your health, you can't go wrong with whole food plant proteins like beans, lentils, tofu, tempeh, or quinoa. These are cheaper, less processed, and backed by decades of research showing heart and metabolic health benefits.
That's the beans, peas, and lentils over the fake meat school of thought. I love it. What are your final thoughts, Dr. Joseph?
So if you love a good veggie burger now and then, hey, go for it. Just read the labels, be mindful of sodium and saturated fat, and pair it with lots of real veggies, whole grains, and good fats. Balance is everything.
Perfectly said, Dr. Joseph. Thank you for being here, always dropping knowledge in a way that's easy for us to digest.
Thanks, Angel. It's always a pleasure.
That's Methodist Mansfield News to Know. I'm Angel Biasatti, reporting for About Mansfield podcast.
Shaken or stirred, you know it's going to be good, as Brian Certain serves up a vibrant, refreshing peak summer smash in this week's Cocktail of the Week. Brian?
This week's feature is the Watermelon Basil Smash, a bright, refreshing cocktail that captures the essence of late summer. This drink combines pure, sweet juice of ripe watermelon with the aromatic complexities of fresh basil, the clean character of quality vodka, and the brightness of fresh lime to create a cocktail that's simultaneously sophisticated and yet utterly refreshing. It's the perfect way to wind down on hot August afternoons. So let's explore about what makes this cocktail special. First, we're going to start with vodka. Choose a quality vodka with a clean, neutral profile that won't completely compete with our fresh ingredients. Tito's, Kettle One, Grey Goose are excellent options. The vodka provides the spirited foundation while letting the watermelon and the basil shine as the stars of the show. Fresh watermelon juice, about 3 ounces per cocktail. This is our hero ingredient. If you're doing it from scratch, select a fresh, ripe, sweet watermelon. Look for one that feels heavy for its size, has a creamy yellow, not white spot on the bottom, and makes a deep, hollow sound when thumped. For the freshest flavor, juice the watermelon right before mixing. That natural sweetness and distinctive flavor of watermelon creates the backbone of this summer cocktail. Or you can do like I do sometimes and cheat and head to Central Market where almost around the year they have fresh watermelon juice. Then we're going to need fresh basil, about 5 to 6 leaves per cocktail, plus more for garnish. Choose bright green aromatic leaves with no brown spots. Sweet Italian basil is ideal, but Thai basil can offer an interesting variation with its slightly spicier anise-like notes. The basil provides the herbaceous counterpoint to the sweet watermelon, adding complexity and sophistication. Then we're going to need about a 1/4 ounce of fresh lime juice. The acidity brightens the cocktail and balances the sweetness of the watermelon, while the citrus notes complement both the fruit and the herb components. Simple syrup. The basic 1-to-1 ratio of sugar to water allows you to adjust the sweetness based on the natural sugar level of your watermelon. If your watermelon is particularly sweet, you might use a little less or even omit the syrup completely. And then garnish options. A small watermelon wedge, a basil sprig, and a lime wheel create a visually striking presentation. And then ice. You'll need lots of it for both shaking and for serving. Glassware. We're going to be using a rocks glass, or also called an old-fashioned glass. It's perfect for this cocktail, allowing room for plenty of ice and beautiful garnishes. For a more festive presentation, consider serving in a mason jar with a striped paper straw. So how are we going to prepare this cocktail? Well, to prepare the watermelon juice, you're going to cut about 2 cups of seedless watermelon into chunks. You'll need approximately 3 ounces of juice per cocktail. Then you're going to blend the watermelon chunks until smooth in either a blender or a food processor. Then strain through a fine mesh sieve to remove the pulp and any seeds and press gently into the sieve to extract as much juice as possible. Then chill the juice before using for best flavor. Then for each cocktail, we're going to add 5 to 6 basil leaves to a cocktail shaker. Using a muddler or the back of a wooden spoon, we're going to gently muddle the basil to release the essential oils and the aroma. Please be careful not to over muddle, which can release bitter components. Then we're going to add 2 ounces of vodka, 3 ounces of fresh watermelon juice, 1/2 ounce of fresh lime juice, and 1/2 ounce of simple syrup to taste to the shaker. Fill the shaker with ice. We're going to shake this thoroughly, 15 to 20 seconds until well chilled and properly diluted. Then fill a rocks glass with fresh ice, and then double strain the cocktail into a glass using both the Hawthorne strainer and a fine mesh strainer to catch any small basil pieces or particularly the watermelon pulp. Then you're going to garnish with a small watermelon wedge, a fresh basil leaf, slap it in your palms first to release the aromatics, and a lime wheel. In closing, this watermelon basil smash is summer in a glass, capturing the season's most iconic fruit at the peak of ripeness and pairing it with garden-fresh herbs for a vibrant, refreshing cocktail. As we savor these August days, this drink offers the perfect way to celebrate summer's bounty and beat the heat with style. But as always, I'm open to hear your take and your input. You can reach me at brian@bourbongospel.com. And until next week, as Mark Twain famously said, too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. Reporting for the About Mansfield podcast, I'm Brian Certain.
The Mansfield Business Alliance has released their list of 40 under 40. We're talking 40 people under the age of 40 who are the next generation of leaders. They are CEOs, they're entrepreneurs, they're everyday people. And one of those people is in the studio right now. We welcome Elisa Dodenhoff. Welcome to About Mansfield.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me.
That makes you under 40.
I am.
And you are the Director of Business of Operations for one of my favorite restaurants here in Mansfield, Blue Mint Thai.
Yes, I am.
And the Velocity Investing Group. Yes. How long have you been with the group, Blue Mint and Velocity?
Just shy of a year. I knew Mike when he was the commander of my security forces squadron in the Air Force. So I've known him for the last 5 years, or give or take. And after knowing him and reconnecting with him, I was a program manager at Mauser Electronics down the road. So I was a frequent guest of Blue Mint Thai because I love Asian food. And when Mike bought the restaurant a couple of years ago, he was still a Arlington police detective, and he stopped doing that full-time, jumped into Blue Mint Thai full-time, and that's where him and I linked up and have expanded it since then.
And I know a little bit about Mike. He and I have had conversations. So you are currently in the military?
I am.
And that's important to Mike.
So I am still actively doing my reserve duty. I was active duty for 6 years, and then I've been in the reserves for the last 8. I actually just got off 3 weeks of annual tour training yesterday, so I'm jumping right back in first thing with you this morning.
What are your duties as the director of business operations?
I feel like I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I am Mike's right-hand man, for lack of better words, but I do a lot of the sales. So the capital raising of our funds for our investors. I do all the marketing. So as we continue to expand, getting our name out there and getting people, I just need to get people in the door, because once they eat our food, they're forever
I was
customers.
sold. Yeah.
Yes, they're sold.
As I mentioned before we started recording, that the drunk noodles.
Oh, yes.
Is my favorite.
It's the number one seller. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Crazy drunken noodles. I mean, it is astronomical. Our sales for crazy drunken noodles, and then everything else, beneath it. Yeah, it's the best.
That's cool. As a budding leader in the community, what are some of the challenges that you have faced from the time you started? Now it's only been a year, but moving up the ladder to an executive, if you will. Some of the challenges that you faced along the way.
I think the biggest thing is self-confidence in the work that I produce. You almost have a little bit of imposter syndrome from time to time. Everybody has always said my whole life, just fake it till you make it. I don't think that's the way to do it. I think we need to be transparent and honest about what our capabilities are, what our bandwidth is, and then absolutely crush it in that capacity so you continue to excel and succeed. And, I'm so fortunate that I have Mike Wilson as my colleague, my partner. He's my boss, but I boss him around way more than I probably should. But somebody who understands where I'm still growing and learning as, like you said, a budding leader, and be able to follow in the footsteps of somebody who's doing it for so long and wants me to take his place, very, very soon. Aside
from Mike, because I think Mike's kind of an obvious choice, have there been any community leaders, community mentors, people who have influenced you along the way?
I would say my first gut instinct is to say my aunt and uncle, actually.
Nice. Give a shout out to aunt and uncle.
Oh, yes. My uncle, he's now retired, lieutenant colonel in the Marines. He certainly inspired me to kind of take that avenue. And my aunt, she has just always been somebody who's in my corner, supported me, my biggest advocate for education and for learning and bettering myself. And, she's really who pushed me to pursue a doctorate degree, and just never settle for less. So, those are truly my people.
And you do have a doctorate.
I'm a doctoral candidate.
Okay.
I need to finish my dissertation before I can put it in front of my name, but we are almost there.
In doctoral in what?
Business administration.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And where are you going to school?
Northwood University. It's out of Michigan.
Okay. Yep. Okay. But Dr. Elisa, coming up.
Before we know it, I cannot wait. I will shout it to the moon.
How do you feel about writing a book?
That is on the to-do list. I would love, my idea is to take all of the data I've collected through my research and my dissertation and transform that into a more digestible, maybe not so scholarly book that somebody actually wants to read, because it's great information.
Let's go back in time. If you, the current day Elisa, could go back to, say, could spend some time with 8-year-old Elisa. Look right in that camera and address Elisa with any advice that you would give 8-year-old Elisa.
Oh, I just got chills. I know. I don't know. I don't know if I ever dreamed that I would be in the position I am today in my under 40. this point in my life, I think that we all have these big dreams of what we want, what we're going to do. And I'm not a ballerina. I mean, I'll tell my 8-year-old self that we did other things, but just to keep pushing forward. I believe in a work-life balance. I make time for myself. I make time for my children. I make time for my friends, while still being able to be successful and have it all, and keeping my morals in check, in line. I'm never wavering on what's important to me and what my goals are, and never allowing life to sideline the bigger picture. Just stay focused. And it veers. It veers. If you look at my degrees, I was doing one thing and then I pivoted, and now I'm, a minority owner of a Thai and Asian restaurant. I don't know if I would have, thought that was going to happen, but I am exactly where I'm meant to be. And so I would tell 8-year-old Elisa, I would tell anyone who has big goals for themselves, that it's going to happen as long as you stay motivated and stay on course.
Keep reaching for the stars.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
You've already mentioned Mike. You've mentioned your aunt and uncle. This is now where I'm just going to let you open up the mic, and if you want to give thanks to anyone, shout out to anyone, anybody you want to acknowledge.
Oh, I wish you'd prepped me for this one. Those would be my 3. I think I would start with. I've had a lot of great military leaders along the way. I've had a lot of great professors who have, continued to guide me and push me. Even my very first guidance counselor, as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in college. I think that the networking I've done in this past year, I've met more influential people than I probably have in my entire life. So. And then obviously I thank God, because I wouldn't be, he's the center of every move that I make. So, my list is long, and my children too. I need to give them somebody to be proud of. So,
sure.
All the people, all the things.
Director of Business Operations for Blue Mint Thai and the Velocity Investing Group, Elisa Dodenhoff, congratulations on being chosen as one of the 40 under 40, one of the next generation of leaders here in Mansfield. And thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We're back in 60 seconds with the conclusion of Steve's interview with Mansfield Parks executives Matt Young and Scot Bowman.
Imagine a city where innovation knows no bounds, where dreams take flight, and the future unfolds before your very eyes. Welcome to Mansfield, a beacon of growth and a testament to vision. In the heart of Mansfield, a remarkable transformation is underway. But it's not just about the physical landscape. It's about the spirit that drives us forward. A spirit of collaboration that bridges cultures, a spirit of entrepreneurship that fuels prosperity, and a spirit of community that binds us as one. Mansfield is more than just a place. It's a canvas where diversity paints the picture of progress. From art festivals that ignite creativity to tech hubs that redefine boundaries, this city celebrates every voice, every passion. Mansfield, where growth knows no limits and the vision is limitless. Brought to you by the unstoppable spirit of the Mansfield Economic Development Corporation.
Hi, I'm Taronda Hillman, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And we got to start with a quick correction, because before we dive into the conclusion of our interview, deadlines sometimes get the best of us. And in last week's rush, I mistakenly referred to Executive Director of Community Services Matt Young as Matt Jones. And while I'm sure Assistant City Manager Matt Jones didn't mind the unexpected shout out, our apologies go to Mr. Young for the mix-up. And now we walk around the city park system with Matt Young and Scot Bowman. Enjoy. So we've covered Rose Park, we've covered Julian Field Park, Man's Best Field, Dog Park, Geyer Commons, and the linear trails. There's so much more going on, including what currently is, or maybe it's not currently, the Mansfield Sports Park. It's formerly Big League Dreams, soon to be, or if not currently, called the Fields at Station 63. First of all, Matt, why is it called the Fields at Station 63?
So, as part of the new Staybolt district and the stadium coming, a lot of sports activity. We already have what was Big League Dreams, Hawaiian Falls Water Park, and Mansfield National Golf Course. So really trying to stick to the sports theme. And with Staybolt kind of having the tie back to the train and the history in Mansfield, the fields at Station 63 was really tying back the fields, obviously ball fields, station with the train history and with the train running right by that. And 63 is really just our zip code. It's 76063 to just having a short thing. So just trying to tie all those back together and create something that is recognizable going forwards, easy to put on logos and branding. And so that's really kind of where that stemmed from.
Could we shorten the name?
Well, yeah,
I'm from San Diego. We had Qualcomm Stadium. We called it the Q. Or prior to that, it was Jack Murphy Stadium. We called it the Murph. Could we call it the Station or the Fields or? Will there? Do you anticipate that there'll be a nickname?
There's usually a nickname for most of our parks. So Big League Dreams, most people will call it BLD.
In Mansfield Sport Park,
as Scott has correctly stated several times, Elmer W. Oliver Nature Park. Most people just say Oliver Nature Park or Oliver or something like that.
I just call it Oliver Park.
Catherine Rose Memorial Park. Most people just say Rose. So there probably will be for especially during the project phase. We've kind of gone the acronym line with that too, and just kind of taken the FA, fields at Station 63 and just called it Fast 63. So I don't know if that's what Kemper Sports, our new operator out there, if what they're going to use on their branding and logos, but just on our paperwork as we're documenting project updates, that's what we've been calling it.
Now, Big League Dreams, they were 8 ballparks.
Mm-hmm.
There's still going to be 8 ballparks.
Yes.
Although they were themed ballparks, they were pretty generic ballparks. You show up and there's dirt and grass, but it looked like Ranger Stadium or Yankee Stadium or whatever. What is Kemper Sports doing to the fields at Station 63?
It's a pretty big overhaul. You'll still see kind of the semblance of the old historic ballparks that were there, but they won't be referred to as the ballpark in Arlington or Yankee Stadium any longer. They'll have more traditional, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But all of the facades in the outfields are getting their second round of painting this week. So they'll have fresh that, including home run lines to kind of distinguish that. The biggest change on the fields and the most dramatic things that people are going to notice, a brand new lighting system converting to all LED, so much different than what it was before we closed down. And then converting what was infield synthetic turf and outfield natural grass to 100% synthetic turf.
Wow.
Striped patterns, everything. And so it is, so it's going to greatly increase the playability. The infield's helped when we went synthetic on rainouts, but you still had, when you get 3 inches of rain, the outfield's are underwater. It's still not safe. So this with the drainage system that has been going in is going to allow them to basically play in anything but lightning and tornadoes. I mean, it's going to widen their schedule.
So even the dirt part of the infield will be synthetic?
Yes.
Completely 100%?
Completely, yes.
Okay. So, and I'm hearing about high definition scoreboards and
scoreboards. It'll probably be a later phase. I think initially it's going to be more. It's going to be digital, but they're not going to be electronic. Video technology on opening. But they are getting new scoreboards on all fields. The indoor facility that had kind of boards for soccer, football kind of play in it have been removed. It's going to be kind of more multi-purpose, aimed at baseball and softball because that's what the outdoor fields are, as more of a training facility, but still multi-purpose. So we'll have batting cages with retractable cages, so you can have up to 15 cages in there, and then I think 9 pitching tunnels. So you can, but you can retract all the cages up against the wall and you have a big room. So you could still do, a soccer function or a cornhole tournament, still have that ability to do that, but all brand new synthetic turf on the inside as well.
And the Central Plaza?
Central Plaza is getting an upgraded playground, new playground added in there. A lot of the walkways, people that were regulars out there know that, the time, the heaving over time has paid its price out there. So getting all new walkways, and then the batting cages are being removed. And in place of that, one of the other most exciting things is a miracle field. Scott, we had some visitors last week to this board meeting.
We did. So our board meetings are structured just like city council, and I'm sure you are aware. There's citizen comments, and we had a slew of people. It was so great to see so many people come out to speak in support of a Miracle League field there at the Station 63.
Now, for the listeners, we have very intelligent listeners, but I'm sure there's someone out there who goes, "What's a miracle field?"
So miracle fields they're full synthetic, all the same level, allowing children of or even adults of all abilities to play sports without being encumbered by challenges like raising a walker over a lip or being able to use a chair to get onto the field.
Right.
There's a big group just north of us in Arlington that plays, but there's a lot of people that come from the South and go just right past us to go play in that league. And it was great to hear so many people excited about it at our last board meeting. We had half a dozen speakers or so come in and very passionately speak for this addition to the Station 63. And then the online on Facebook. I don't know if you've heard people like to express their opinions on Facebook. People are so excited about the Miracle League field being here and close by.
That is great. That's great. Anything else going on at the fields at Station? Well, I'm just going to call it the fields.
Okay. I'm sure everybody will have a different, even though it wasn't the name, people still call it Field of Dreams, even though that wasn't the name. So,
that's true. That's true.
The restaurants are getting major overhaul. So they will look completely different, much more wide open. All new technology inside, new TVs and screens, different menu operations they plan on having. You'll be able to order from your seat, have food delivered to you. They're going to have little food carts that drive throughout the park.
Wait. If I'm out at Field 8 in the concession stand, I can order on like an app or something?
Yeah, they're going to have app technology.
They will deliver to Field 8 to my seat.
Possibility. Yeah, they're working on that right now. Yeah. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I thought I could only do that at the Rangers game, but and still you have to sit in a specific section at the Rangers game in order to do that.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Anything else about the fields that you want to brag about?
No, other than they're planning on first week in September opening. So we're getting really close, 6 weeks away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Less than 6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Because we're recording this on July 16th, but we're into August now, so we're less than a month away. That is very cool. Oliver Nature Park, we mentioned earlier, they've got some things that the enhancements have gone. Are they finished now? Or?
Yes. Well, we've went through the tree house is the overlook piece. Had been there a while. The wood had started to rot. It's kind of not as attractive as it could. And the team had the contractors go through and remove all of the wood and replaced it with a synthetic wood look-alike. Very sturdy. It looks beautiful. Before our June meeting, I went out there to go, just go check it out, and it's incredible. It looks just awesome sitting there. And Garrett, we talked about him before we started recording. One of the guys in the department was telling me about how you can go out to the edge of the overlook and you can look up and see this bird has this nest up there, and there it was. I mean, right, plain as day. You could just sit there and watch this huge eagle hawk. I can't identify birds, but
it's got wings.
It had wings, and it looked kind of intimidating. It looked at me. Yeah. It did. But that's been all replaced, and it looks great. It looks really, really good. And I know a lot of people like to go out to that overlook to take, senior photos. My son went there to propose to his wife. It's just one of those iconic places we have in our park inventory that people go to. And it was great to take care of that to make it be able to last much longer.
Done with Oliver Park, and now McClendon Park East. And first of all, let the listeners know where they can find McClendon Park East.
So McClendon Park East is just to the west side of downtown, south of Broad Street. right adjacent to the cemetery, Mansfield Cemetery.
Okay.
It has a big softball field, and the oldest playground that you have ever seen in your entire life has just recently been removed from there.
Okay. And this is to, one can assume that if there's a McClendon Park East, there's also a McClendon Park West.
One might presume.
Okay.
McClendon West went through some significant upgrades back in 23 is when we opened that in the springtime of 23. It had a basketball court in the middle of the parking lot almost. I mean, it was just not in the best place. Parking was kind of hard there. We had we closed the entire park, redid the entire thing, and opened up with a splash pad and multiple basketball courts that are down a little bit further away from the road. It's a beautiful park to go to, has a great hill on it if your kids like to ride bikes down hills. And once you get to the backside there's plenty of parking for, basketball down there on the farther end of it. And I love that the thought went into it. We talked earlier about how we kind of get feedback and we find out why the park planners do what they do. And it's really nice to have, the older young adults, sports away from the kids who are, young splashing in a splash pad.
Sure.
That way you don't, mix music and, mamas get mad or whatever. It's just a really, really great design of how that park was done. It also has a great playground that's there. My kids call that the red, white, and blue park. We talked about different names just because of the fixtures that are there, red, white, and blue colored, out there on Broad Street near almost, what was that, 6th, I guess, out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt, how many parks are within the park system?
We just opened our 25th, so in 2025. So
you just opened the 25th, which would be what?
So that's in the M3 Ranch development. So through our parkland dedication ordinance, we have a process and a requirement for new residential developments to deliver parks and recreation services to the residents that they're bringing to the city, whether that is through paying fees to the city and let us acquire land and build parks, or in some cases like M3 Ranch, they got credit for building the amenity in the development and then dedicated it to the city. In cases like M3 Ranch and Birdsong and Watson Branch, the developers, the really good ones, understand that if they build a nice high quality park and they do it on the front end, it's going to sell those homes really quickly around that. So they built the park first before any of the homes are on the street. And then people can know up front, I know that there's going to be a park there. That's for me, or I don't want to live right there because I don't have little ones and I'll go somewhere else in the development. So this is a great park. It's our first swing set with shade structure over it in the park system. So it's a small pocket park, but it's going to be a great addition.
I was doing some research before you guys showed up and asked AI for a list of all the parks within the system, and there was one I had never heard of. It's Piedmont Park. And then I had to look it up on the map, Google Maps, and another pocket park, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so did Killian Park make your list? I'm curious if that was there. They're very close together.
Okay.
Part of the development there near Business 287 and I don't know, Calendar.
It kind of looked like it was behind Cinemark up in
right.
That area. The Woodland Estates neighborhood.
Woodland Estates. And there's two parks over there, very similar in size and whatnot. They're just neighborhood parks that are over there. Back in 2017, I took upon myself to go out and do something every day, parks related.
Yeah. I remember that. And then you went on social media and you talked about it.
I did. Yeah. Because that's where I go. And I took my kids and drug them around and made them do park things with me because I love the park so much. And we found Piedmont then. And every park has a nickname. That's Car Park because it has a little rocking car that goes back and forth. It's a tiny little park at the end of a cul-de-sac. It's probably great for the people that are there. It also gives you access to the waterway that's right behind it that has, fish in it. It's got the little sign up there for you to identify your fish when you catch them. And I see a lot of people when we go out to these neighborhood parks.
Hang on. Identify your fish.
There's like a bass and a sundial or something.
But are you supposed to I mean, how?
Well, it has a picture.
Right. You identify your fish, but to whom do you identify
I don't know. Just yourself.
Just identify the fish.
We have a lot of people that are amateur fishermen and have questions about what it is. So it's a kind of a standard sign, and we're working on replacing them all right now with Parks and Wildlife, just so that people know what is this that I caught. And so some of the more popular ones that you would find in that pond.
And it's a catch and release pond, I would assume.
All of our ponds are actually regulated by Texas Parks and Wildlife, so there are you follow any of the guidelines for fishing licenses and catch and release that Parks and Wildlife sets.
Any other parks you want to brag about? We get about 5 minutes left.
We have James McKnight Park West.
By the shops at Broad?
So that's McKnight Park East.
To assume there's another East and West.
We're actually, at the next council meeting, there'll be some new naming opportunities. So we're actually going to probably break our ties between two parks that have both East and West. It is confusing. The east side is next to the shops at Broad, is kind of the softball complex. Right. And the trail system runs underneath 287. Mm-hmm. To the other side is James McKnight Park West.
At the end of Wisteria Street.
Yes. So kind of buried in the back of the neighborhood. It's really served as a trailhead for the linear trail system with a small pavilion and a very large parking lot with nothing else to do there. Over time, because of some of the regular flooding, the city through kind of federal programs has purchased a number of the houses that were prone to flooding to remove them from the floodplain, and so that gave a little bit bigger footprint. And so we applied for a grant with Texas Parks and Wildlife, received $750,000 grant to help kind of actually develop the park into a neighborhood park to serve those residents. So we're in the design stage right now. There is Waters of the U.S. We have to work with the Corps of Engineers. So it's kind of a complicated, and there's federal money tied to the state grant. So it's a long process. But it'll have a new smaller parking lot. It'll actually add a playground, a pavilion, some exercise equipment. And then the most exciting change to this, in addition to connecting to the trail system, it will add a trail to Julian Field Park where the Veterans Memorial is at. So you'll have connectivity there. And then we're going to have our first disc golf course.
Awesome.
So we are taking advantage of the east side of James McKnight Park on the shops at Broad side to actually start the disc golf course on that side. Large parking lot, restrooms already in place. Play a couple holes on the east side, come underneath the highway through the trail system, and then play in the natural area on the other side of the highway. That way, that traffic, the pedestrian traffic or the vehicular traffic that comes to play disc golf isn't going through the neighborhood and kind of disrupting, adding extra traffic in there. They can go to the sports complex, park there, and access. And so we're not bringing a lot of people into the neighborhood for what is, for the most part, going to be a neighborhood park feel.
Speaking of new sports, so you've got disc golf, you've got the Miracle Field. Did I hear that wiffle ball is coming to Geyer Commons?
Geyer Commons. We want to make sure that we preserve the history of the ball field there for sure.
Sure.
So wiffle ball field there on the east side of the complex there, and you'll be able to go out and play, just like the olden days. I think it's a great way to honor what that spot was and do some new things, and then also have the ball field there as well. So
wiffle ball, and I'm a big proponent of pickleball, which uses a wiffle ball, and great. I think that's awesome that you're bringing a variety of opportunities for people to get out and play instead of just sitting around watching TV all day, which you guys probably don't.
Well, I don't know. I get out when I can.
Scott's in our parks all the time. That's what we love. Love him as our president. All of our volunteer members on the board, they're in our parks more than staff is in the times that we're not. And so they see things that we don't see. And it's like, did you know that people are really using the park this way? And maybe we should think about just going with the flow and redesigning it and taking advantage of what people are actually using the park for. So their perspective is unique to what staff see in the daytime primarily. So it's a good mix. We end up with a great product by using that.
Matt Young, is there anything that you want to conclude with in terms of the park system?
No, just, there are so many great things. You can visit our website. The easiest way to get there is mansfieldparks.com. It will link you back to the city page. We have, I think, more than 1,000 unique pages. So all the information that you would want to find on our park projects that are in design or under construction, all of our fantastic programs and activities and special events are going to be linked there, as well as all these new projects that we've talked about in these episodes, including Geyer Commons and all the new programs and activities that will be scheduled there. So check out mansfieldparks.com, and you can find out just about anything under the sun.
I would agree with that, and just add that back in 2019 we started the master plan, the 10-year master plan.
Yeah,
and we're about halfway through that right now, and people can go to the website and see the plan as it was done back in 2020 and approved by council. We've been going through an exercise now of, what's left. How are we going to get all these things done? What's the priority? What's new? And being able to go to the website to see what we have going on, the construction status or the design status is great to see, but also just wanted to encourage people to come out to our meetings, to our board meetings. The third Thursday of the month, we meet. And like I said, we had great people come out and speak last time. We've had people come just to listen, just to know what's going on.
Third Thursday at City Hall.
At City Hall.
Starts at
6:00 p.m.
Just like City Council.
And we don't go as long as they do. We're much more fun. We do the fun things.
Do you offer snacks and drinks?
No, but if we have a lot of people, I might look into that.
Scott Bowman, president of the Mansfield Park Facilities Development Corporation, also known as the Parks Board. Matt Young, executive director of community services for the city of Mansfield. Oh my gosh, lots of great things going on in the park system. And again, this is why I wanted to have you on the show to let our listeners know what's going on around town. And keep it up. Keep it up.
We will. It's both of our passions,
yes,
for sure.
It is.
Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thanks, Steve.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, love it or hate it, we will tackle the question, what does the one big beautiful bill mean for Mansfield taxpayers? In the meantime, this is the place where you'll hear the latest Mansfield news, talk, and information. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, engage, connect, amplify, elevate, celebrate, embrace, explore, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com. Enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never, ever, 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 ever send you any spam. We promise.
About Mansfield is recorded at Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio. Hosts, Steve Cosillo and Colleen Daniel. Moment with the Mayor feature, Michael Evans. Methodist Mansfield News to Know, Angel Biasatti. Cultural Arts Calendar, Tim Roberts. Cocktail of the Week, Brian Certain. Post-production editing, mixing and mastering, Steve Cosillo and Andrew Miner.
Thanks to Alyssa for sitting in for Colleen this week. This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without prior written consent is strictly prohibited. We thank you all for listening. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Cosillo, and this is About Mansfield.